The first origin is going to be Abomination. When 3 allied champions have died, the monstrosity, being Scion, the Scion passive, will awaken from its grave. The monstrosity gets bonus health and attack damage based on allied Abomination's unit star level. The monstrosity will also receive a random copy of an item from each of the 3 Abomination champions nearest to the grave when combat starts. So basically you have these Abomination champions, which you can have up to 5, and the Abomination monstrosity will give you like 600 health, 60 attack damage, all the way to 3000 health and 300 attack damage. So we have we have the 2-cost Brand, we have the 1-cost Callista, the 3-cost NOOB, and the 4-cost Rise. So these are our Abomination champions, and of course you're gonna need an Abomination spatula, because we need 5 and there's only 4, and we don't have a chosen mechanic, so that makes sense. And if you have 5 of these, you will have an extremely strong Scion monstrosity, which will attack everyone and will get a copy of 1 item from each of these champions, which has to be nearest to the grave. So the next one is Coven. Coven is the new like early comp that you want to have, which is at the start of combat, the champion nearest to the center of your Coven champions is chosen as the Coven leader, gaining 50% bonus AP. And each time a Coven champion casts, 25 of the cost is bestowed upon the Coven leader as mana. So the idea is for you to have these really low cost champions. So we have the 3-cost Morgana, the 1-cost Cassandra, and the 2-cost LeBlanc. And you will have these 3 positioned like 1, 2, and then 1 at the front. And in the middle of that triangle, you will position your like most valuable unit, your carry, whether it is a ranger or a brawler or an assassin, and that unit will gain 50% AP and will get 25% mana from each cast of these 3 champions. So that's insane. And in case you don't have, like you are still at level 3 and you have all these 3, don't worry, the triangle will choose like one of the corners, so one of these champions will get the bonus, and that's enough until you get the 4th unit. Next we have Dawnbringer. So Dawnbringers rapidly heal some of their maximum health. For the first time they drop below 50% HP, and when this heal occurs, all allied Dawnbringers gain 10% bonus damage. So this is like the new Dark Star mechanic. So if you guys remember, like 2 sets ago, I think, or one set ago, we had like the Dark Star Shaco and the Dark Star Jin and all the Dark Stars. And whenever a Dark Star champion dies, all the other Dark Stars get like a bonus like stats. And this basically works the same, but we have a heal instead of the death. So we have the legendary unit Garen. The 5-cost Garen, so as you can see, he's a Dawnbringer God King. God King is a special trait, we'll talk about it later. Next we have the 1-cost Gragas, the 4-cost Karma, the 1-cost Kha'Zix, the 3-cost Nidalee, the 3-cost Riven, and the 2-cost Soraka. So from 2 to 8, on 8 you get 150% maximum HP, which is insane. Next we have Draconic, which is not too used, but it's pretty nice. So in Hyper Row, Dragon Egg hatch a lot faster. So this is like Draconic is the new fortune mechanic. So this is how this is the mechanic you use if you want to spam a bunch of gold, a bunch of items, a bunch of stuff. So let me explain. If you have 3 Draconic units at the end of each player combat, gain a Dragon Egg on your bench. The bigger the egg, the longer it takes to hatch, and the rarer the reward. So you'll get different sizes of eggs, and depending on the size of the egg, it will hatch. It will take more time to hatch, and when it hatches, you will get either loot or you will get other copies of the Draconic champions themselves. So this is going to be a comp that aims to 3-star all the Draconic units and give them extra gold and give them items, which is insane. And if you have 5 of these, which is very hard to have because the 5th Draconic is Heimerdinger, which is a 5-cost, so it's gonna be hard to aim for a Heimerdinger. But once you have a Heimerdinger, the Dragon Eggs are golden, and golden eggs hatch into even rarer loot. So as I said, this is like the legendary like fortune comp that you want to use if you want to, maybe if you get it early, or maybe if you are like if you want to have like a YouTube video. This is what you need to do. You need to get 5 of these and see what kind of eggs you get, what kind of dragon eggs, and what kind of golden dragon eggs you get, and what kind of items they hatch out of. And that's pretty cool. So the next one is Dragon Slayer. Dragon Slayers gain bonus ability power after the first allied Dragon Slayer scores a takedown on an enemy with at least 1,400 maximum health, and all allies gain additional ability power for the rest of the round. So if you have 2 Dragon Slayers, 30% AP for Dragon Slayers and 20% for the team. If you have 4 Dragon Slayers, 60% AP and 40% goes for the team. So 60 for the Dragon Slayers and 40 for the team. This mechanic is kind of bland, to be honest, because you kind of have to stack one of these Dragon Slayers. Oh, I forgot to tell you which are the Draconic units. I'm sorry. See, so we have 3-star Ash, 5-star Harbinger, 2-cost Set. So Set is no longer a 5-cost. 1-cost Udyr, and 3-cost Zyra. Okay, back to Dragon Slayers. So for Dragon Slayers, we have Diana, the 4-cost. We have Dragon Slayer Mordekaiser, 4-cost. We have the Dragon Slayer Pantheon, 3-cost, and the Dragon Slayer Trundle, 2-cost. So if you have 2 of these, you get 30. 4 of these, you get 60. As I said, this is kind of underwhelming because you need to stack one of these, and the condition to have all these bonuses is for you to kill an enemy with 1,400 maximum HP. So that's kind of iffy. Like, imagine like investing everything in this, and then we don't find like the right enemy at the right time, or maybe you kill like a couple of enemies that don't have this much HP. So that's kind of underwhelming. This needs something, not something extra in my opinion. The next origin is going to be Eternal, which is specific to Kindred. It's a very, very cool trait. So Wolf separates from Lamb. To become a second champion, Wolf does not count towards your unit cap and receives all of Lamb's stats and bonuses. So that's insane. So like if you have like 9 units and your 9th unit is Kindred, when the combat starts, Kindred will be split into 2 champions. The first champion is going to be Lamb, and the second champion is going to be Wolf. And Lamb will have that ability that like prevents your allies from dying, and Wolf will have an ability to like he will attack a lot, and then he will return to Lamb and will heal her for a bunch, which is insane. So if you have 9 units, when the combat starts, this becomes your 10th unit, becomes 2 more units, which is insane. Also, the Wolf gets his own stats from Lamb and gets his own items. So yeah, the next one is the Forgotten trait, which is our 9th trait. So if you can start building Forgotten from the start of the game till the end of the game, and at the end of the game you will get 110 attack damage and ability power. Forgotten champions have bonus attack damage and ability power. Each shadow item held by a Forgotten champion increases these bonuses by 10% on all Forgotten champions, stacking up to 4 times. So if you have 4 shadow items and you got a Forgotten comp, all of your units would get a 40% increase on all these bonuses right here, the ones that you can see. So we'll talk about the shadow items in a bit. So shadow items are this new variety of items, and they are basically a double-edged sword. So the item does something good, but it comes with a cost. Like it does something bad, like let's say it gives you attack speed, but it takes away from your HP like 1 tick every second or something like that. So the Forgotten champions are gonna be the 4-cost Raven, which is back, the 2-cost Hecarim, the 3-cost Katarina, the 4-cost Rise, the 2-cost Resh, the 1-cost Vayne, the 5-cost Viego, which is a new addition, the 2-cost Victor, and the 1-cost Warwick. Next one is Hellion, which I've been saying Helion for some reason. I thought of it like Helios, and for some reason I was just the Helion, but apparently it's Hellion, like from hell. And this is the Yordle comp, and it ends with Teemo. And anything that ends with Teemo, you know it's insane. Also, Teemo has a very, very cool trait, which is called Crew, which is the middle trait that you can see. And his kit is insane. We'll talk about it in a bit. So for Hellion champions, it's gonna be like the Yordle champions right here. And Hellion champions gain attack speed. Whenever a Hellion dies, a double Hellion of the same type with 1 less star and no items will leave from the Hellion portal and join the fight. So basically, you have these Yordles who will start fighting. They will gain a lot of attack speed, and when one of the Yordles die, a portal will open, the Hellion portal, and a doppelhillion, like a doppelganger from that unit, will come out of the portal and start fighting, and that doppelhillion will be like 1 less star and no items. So basically like a unit that fights for an extra unit that fights whenever one of these heroes die. And yeah, that's cool. The next one is Ironclad, which is pretty self-explanatory. It's Ironclad, they gain armor. This is your new front line, especially Rel. Rel is gonna be super OP. So if you have 2 of these, let's say Vanguards or Ironclad, you will get 40 armor. If you have 3, you get 100 armor. And they're gonna be the 4-cost Jax, the 2-cost Nautilus, and the 4-cost Rel. Next we have Nightbringer. So Nightbringer is the like opposite of Dawnbringer, and these 2 comps end with one of the God King legendary champions. This one ends with God King Darius, super OP or Garen. I'm sorry. And this one right here, Nightbringer, ends with the God King Darius, as you can see. So for the Nightbringer champions, these ones have a bit of a different mechanic. So Nightbringers gain a shield for 8 seconds equal to a percent of their maximum HP the first time they drop below 50%. So the other ones heal, and these ones gain shield. When this occurs, that Nightbringer gains bonus damage, and as you can see, it stacks as the more Nightbringers you have. We have the Nightbringer Aphelios, which is a 4-cost, the 5-cost Darius, the 4-cost Diana, the 3-cost Lee Sin, the 3-cost Morgana, the 2-cost Sejuani, the 1-cost Vladimir, and the 3-cost Yasuo. So next are the Redeemed. So Redeemed have increased armor, magic resist, and ability power. When they die, they pass this bonus split among remaining redeemed abilities. Also, this is one of the Dark Star mechanic imitation. Whenever a redeemed champion dies, he gives a bunch of his stats split between all the other redeemed champions that you're running. So you want your front line to die, and then your mid line to die, and then finally your Kayle at the back, which is a 5-cost, will be super strong, or maybe your Vel'Koz, which is a 4-cost. So the redeemed champions are going to be redeemed Aatrox, who's a 1-cost, the redeemed Kayle, who's a 5-cost, the redeemed Leona, which is a 1-cost, redeemed Lux, 3-cost, redeemed Drell, 4-cost, and redeemed Syndra, 4-cost, and then we see redeemed Varus is back, 2-cost, and the redeemed Vel'Koz, 4-cost. Next are the Revenant champions. So Revenants revive after their first death each combat. Once revived, they take and deal 30% increased damage. So the Revenant champions are gonna be Ivern, the 4-cost Revenant, Nocturne, 3-cost Revenant, and Volibear, the 5-cost Revenant, one of the strongest units out there as in terms of front line. And yeah, like late game, you can always consider having these 2, like not Nocturne, not an assassin, Ivern or and Volibear as your front line. And whenever they die, they will revive again. Actually, it's like the name Revenant is a French word which means coming back, literally. So in case you guys did not know, it's pronounced revenant. So revenant means coming back, literally. So yeah, these units will die and come back again with 30% increased damage, and they take 30% increase, like 30% more damage. Next are the last origin is going to be Verdant. So we have the Verdant 3-cost Ashe, the Verdant 5-cost Kayle, and the Verdant 4-cost Darius. So these are basically a walking QSS, so it prevents CC basically. So champions that start combat adjacent to at least one Verdant ally are immune to crowd control for a duration, so for 5 seconds or for 8 seconds. So basically you put Taric at the front to prevent CC for your front line, and you put Ashe at the back to prevent CC for your back line. And if you have like Kayle, of course, you can put her to prevent CC for everyone. And yeah, it's a pretty OP mechanic. Basically, we have QSS made into champions. Next, we have the types. So we got the basic like assassin, brawlers. Assassins are the same. If they at the start of combat, assassin leap the enemy backline. Blah blah blah. We know this. And the assassins are going to be 4-cost Diana, 3-cost Katarina, 1-cost Kha'Zix, 2-cost LeBlanc, 3-cost Nocturne, and the 5-cost Viego, which is the new legendary champion. So this works basically the same. You get a bunch of crit damage, crit chance, and that's it. And brawlers, of course, they gain HP, but they no longer gain attack damage, since we have some new tools for that. So the brawlers are gonna be 1 cost Gragas, 3 cost Nunu, 2 cost Set, 5 cost Volibear. It's gonna be very beefy, and 1 cost Warwick. Next is the Caretaker type, which is specific to Heimerdinger. So, Caretakers deploy with a baby dragon that can be placed anywhere on the battlefield. Baby dragons gain 100% of their handler's attack speed and restore 50 mana to their caretaker upon death. So basically, you spawn a unit, which is a baby dragon, that will attack on your behalf as you're attacking as well. And whenever this baby dragon dies, it gives 50 mana to the caretaker, which is Heimerdinger. Next types are the Cavalier, and so the Cavaliers charge quickly towards their target whenever they move. Cavaliers take reduced damage at the start of combat, and after charge this effect is doubled for 4 seconds. So these basically are the other type of the front lines, and these Cavaliers were like when the combat starts and when you lock onto a target, the Cavalier, instead of walking there, they will dash, and when they dash or charge, they will gain a doubled stat, which is like 30% damage reduction, or 40% damage reduction, or 50% damage reduction, which is insane. Next we have the very cool cruel type for Teemo, our legendary 5-cost unit. Oh, excuse me, I didn't tell you about the units. So for the Cavaliers, we have Cavalier Hecarim, which is a 2-cost, Cavalier Kled 1-cost, Cavalier Well 4-cost, and Cavalier Sejuani 2-cost. So back to Teemo. Cruel champions are purchased with little legend health instead of gold. So basically, if you see Teemo, you will not buy him with gold. You can buy him with your own HP. You have to pay 6 HP to buy Teemo from the shop, which is insane. But on the upside, they can be sold for gold, but not health. So you can like buy Teemo for your HP and make 5 gold back by selling him, which sometimes can be the difference between life and death. That extra gold. And yeah, Teemo himself is very strong. He spawns a bunch of mushrooms all around the map, especially near like units with high attack speed. Okay, next, God King are these 2 champions, which are Garen and Darius. So if you have exactly 1 God King, they deal 30% bonus damage to enemies who have at least one of their rival traits. So the idea is for you to scout, like during the game, you have to scout and see what other people are building. If you see a lot of people building Nightbringer, or Forgotten comps, or Coven comps, or Hellion comps, or Dragon Slayer comps, you go for the Garen route, and you build yourself this right here. This is for Garen, right? Yeah. You build yourself a Dawnbringer comp with these champions, because Dawnbringer units, and Garen especially, will deal 30% extra damage for all of these traits: Dragon Slayer, Abomination, Revenant. And if people are running the Redeemed, Dawnbringer, Verdant, Draconic, or Ironclad, you go for the Darius tree, which is the Nightbringer, which is right here. And Darius will gain a bunch of extra stats and will deal more damage to all of those. So yeah, that's pretty dope. It's all about countering other comps. Next we have Invoker. All allies gain extra mana from their basic attacks, 4 mana, 6 mana. And the Invokers are gonna be 4-cost Ivor, 4-cost Karma, 2-cost Syndra, and 5-cost Teemo. So Teemo is gonna be gaining a lot of mana. Next we have the Knight. All allies block a flat amount of damage from all sources. So basically the Damkench passive, or skill I guess, which will be innate in these champions, and they're gonna be Leona 1-cost, Nautilus 2-cost, Poppy 1-cost, Tarek 4-cost, and Thresh 2-cost. So as you can see, they're all tanks, and they will all be blocking damage. Next one is Legionnaire. So Legionnaires gain bonus attack speed, and their first attack after casting a spell heals them for 50% of the damage dealt. So the attack speed stacks from 25% to all the way to 120% attack speed. And the Legionnaire champions are going to be the Aatrox 1-cost, the 4-cost Raven, which is going to be strong, super strong, the 1-cost Callista, which fell off from last set, so no longer We have like the overwhelming Kalista at the back. Next we have the 5-cost Kale, the 4-cost Mordekaiser, the 3-cost Riven, and the 3-cost Yasuo. Next we have Mystics, which are basically the same. All allies gain magic resist. We all know this. We have Kindred, the 5-cost Mystic, Lulu, the 3-cost Mystic, Lux, the 3-cost Mystic, Morgana, the 3-cost Mystic, and finally Ryze, the 4-cost Mystic. Next we have Rangers, so Rangers are back. They basically gain attack speed over a duration of time. After 4 seconds, Rangers gain attack speed for 4 seconds. They regain this bonus every 4 seconds thereafter. And the attack speed varies from 2 to 3, between 60% and 120%. And Rangers are going to be Aphelios, 4-star, not 4-star, 4-cost, Ashe, 3-cost, Kindred, 5-cost, Varus, 2-cost, and Vayne, 1-cost. I'm wondering if this is supposed to be like another, there should be another like addition, which should be like 5 Rangers. I think there should be one here. Next we have Renewer. Renewer heals for % of their maximum health each second. If they're full health, they restore mana instead. So these champions are going to be a very strong front line. So as you can see, if you got 2 or 4, you get 5 health, 5% health per second, or 5% mana, and then it becomes 8%, 8%. So these Renewer champions are going to be the 5-cost Harmendringer, the 4-cost Ivern, the 1-cost Lissandra, the 2-cost Soraka, and the 1-cost Vladimir. So not too strong. We have Ivern as a good frontliner, and then we have the OP Heimerdinger, which will be spawning a bunch of baby dragons who will do the damage for him, which is insane, and he will keep getting all the extra mana from the baby dragons and the Renewer thingy, as long as he has HP. Next we have Skirmisher. So Skirmishers gain a shield at the start of combat and gain attack damage each second. So they are basically keepers with a bunch of attack damage. And the Skirmishers are going to be the 4-cost Jax, 2-cost Kennen, so Kennen is back as a keeper. 3-cost Lee Sin. I wonder if Lee Sin is still gonna do the same thing as the past Lee Sin. I doubt it, but we'll see. 3-cost Nidalee, 3-cost Pantheon, 2-cost Rondo, and 1-cost Udyr, and 5-cost Viego. Next are the Spellweavers. Spellweavers have increased ability power and get bonus ability power anytime a champion uses an ability, stacking up to 10 times. So 20 ability power, 2 bonus ability power, 50 ability power, 5 bonus ability power. So this is a new mage comp. We have the 2-cost Brand, the 4-cost Vel'Koz, the 2-cost Victor, the 1-cost Ziggs, and the 3-cost Tyrant.